What's going on, Spurs Nation? Welcome to this week's Power 5 player rankings. Now, it's usually on Sunday, but when we have a game Sunday, I would try to upload my Power 5 on Monday. And for those who don't know, it's like sort of like a musician's chart show. When you release an album, it'd be number one that week, possibly if you're good. And it sort of drops, as the week progresses, or it could stay up at the number one spot, if it's that good of an album for a period of time. So this is sort of how my Power 5 player rankings go. Each week, I literally select 5 players that performed that week. But just because you're number one doesn't mean that if you perform the next week poorly that you're just going to get off the list. You probably drop down a few spots. And if you're the number 5 spot, then obviously you probably fall off the top 5. So, or the Power 5, I should say. And so what I do is I take stats, the eye test, definitely the eye test, because a lot of things don't show up on a stat sheet, that happens in a game, that impacts the game to help us win. So let's jump into it. Number 5, I got Devin Booker. Last week's he was number 3 on my list, but obviously he only played one game since last week, and that's no fault of his own. He was injured, but that one game he had 23 points, 9 rebounds, 7 assists, 1 steal. Didn't shoot the ball particularly well. He only shot the ball 36% from the field, but he was 50% from the 3-point line. So he dropped down 2 spots from number 3 to number 5. Number 4, I have Jeremy Sohan. Now, he wasn't on the list last week, but he moved up to the number 4 spot. The impact that he brings to this team, the energy, the hustle, he makes our defense much better with the switching. He's able to guard multiple positions. He just, a lot of people compare him to Dennis Rodman. I can see the comparison, but if his potential can be Dennis Rodman, being that destructive force on defense, it's like the sky. I love him. The sky's the limit. Now, I have to admit, when we drafted him, I wasn't too happy. But that's why they get paid the big bucks, and I'm sitting here, right? So for these games, for this week, he averaged, because he only played 3 games, but he averaged 13 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal, shooting 56% from the field and 33% from the 3-point line. Now, that's something that he needs to improve. He needs to keep shooting it, because they're going to be daring him to shoot. They'll rather him shoot than anybody else on the floor from behind the arc. So he's going to have to keep shooting it with confidence and really develop that 3-point shot in the offseason. Number 3, I'm at, right? Number 3, I got Trey Jones. Fantastic player. Now, this week, he hasn't shot the ball well. He shot the ball 26% from the field and 36% from the 3-point line. But he did average 10 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists, and 1 steal during these games this week, during the 4 games this week. But it's not that I have him at number 3 on this list. It's the composure, how calm, how he can settle the team down. He's like a floor general. When he's off the floor, we usually kind of get chaotic on offense just a tad bit sometimes. I think he kind of brings a calmness to our offense where it kind of flows smoothly. And that's, I think last game, or all the games really, when it gets down to that, the last quarter, around 2 minutes, under 3 minutes, whatever, you'll see him check Jones in the game to get everything under control. So he's a big part of our team, and I love it. So he may not shot the ball well, but he controls the tempo, is what I'm trying to say. He controls the tempo. He does a great job at that. Number 2, just like last week, Jakob Poeltl. I think he's an underrated big man. I said it over and over. I think he's super underrated. But last week, the week that just passed, he put up 12 points, 12 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 block, and 1 steal, shooting 70% from the field these last 4 games. So basically averaging a double-double, even putting up 4 assists and 70% from field is great numbers. Number 2, I was going to make him number 1, but stats it's okay, but I always go by impact. And for the last 2 weeks, Keldon Johnson had the biggest impact. The last 2 weeks, barring those 2 games, Jeremy Sohan, because he did get player of the game. I did give Jeremy Sohan player of the game his last 2 outings. So that's why he moved on to the list, because Sohan wasn't on the list last week. So that's why I moved him on the list. And if he continued to perform like he's been performing, you'll see him steadily moving up. And maybe he will take Johnson's spot. But other than that, Johnson's impact on the team. Last week he kept us in the game we lost against Charlotte. He always come with that energy, same like Sohan, come with that energy. He's strong in attack. His shooting is good from the outside. He's just feeling it. I really can't say, but he's for sure. I think he's a for sure top 20 player. How he's playing now, he's a for sure top 20 player in his league. And I just enjoy watching him play. I like how he leads. Far better leader than DeJounte was. No shade, but you can see he's a far better leader. He's far more wanting to play for each other, wanting to play for the team basically. So I kind of like him. I kind of like him as our future leader. I hope he stays here for a long time. I hope we build around him because he's a solid player. I can't wait to see him and Vassell play multiple games together because I think they're going to be key to us winning a lot of games because they can bring the offense as well as the defense. And so that is my Power 5 player rankings this week. I hope y'all like, subscribe, and comment who y'all think is y'all Power 5 player rankings of the week because it's not just me. Come on. Give me what y'all think. Give me what y'all opinions and all that. So yeah, there you have it. And also I want to say that I like how we play. And I think we got away from that. Like during Ginobili, Parker, and Duncan later years, we started to move away from the ball sticking to one person's hand. Like when Tim Duncan came, he said, pass the ball to Tim Duncan, right? And when it was Parker turn, it was like, okay, Parker was the ball dominant person. And then when they got older, around the time we was going against the Miami Heat in the finals, around those few years, we was unselfish, ball movement, player movement, whoever, getting the greater shot, not just the best shots, but the greater shot. So it was like, whoever's open, get the shot. And then when Kawhi Leonard came into age and LaMarcus Aldridge, it's like we slowed down. We just brung the ball up the court. We passed it either to Aldridge or Kawhi Leonard pick and rolls. We got away from that ball movement, that beautiful basketball. And now we're starting to see it again. And it's something to be excited about. That's just what I wanted to say in this video. But yeah, there's my Power 5 player rankings. Hope y'all like, comment, subscribe. And yeah, man, tell me what y'all think. Peace and blessings.